the morning of, we're like, oh, like we're like actually playing the Natty. Like this is like real. Like coming out, like seeing like all the fans just like waiting for us. We're like, oh, like this is real. Like this is happening.
At one point, you know, you were probably that young girl like looking up to a star athlete. Who was that athlete for you?
My siblings both played volleyball, so like that was like my like main focus, like always like them, because like I was always with them, like I was at their games, like so it was like always just like seeing them play. But like one of them that like me and my sister shared specifically was like Alicia Glass. She's an amazing setter. So like that's like one of the like people that I looked up to growing up as a setter.
Your sister, you talking about Naomi, and how she plays volleyball at NC State, and you all swept NC State this year. What? Tell me about that. What were you talking a little bit of trash before the game?
So.
Imagine facing a challenge every day that could hold you back. But for me, type 1 diabetes isn't a limit. It's a reason to inspire others. Spencer Stand is here to show kids that they can chase their dreams, no matter the obstacle. Through game day experiences, personal workouts, and virtual chats, Spencer Stand brings support, hope, and empowerment to kids with diabetes. Join me in making a stand. Visit spencerstand.com to learn more.
Nayelis Cabello, welcome to Athlete Unscripted. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you for having me here.
So we have the volleyball ACC Freshman of the Year, a setter from Claremont, Florida, who's also 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
What's the view like up there?
Pretty nice. I mean, I can see everything, I guess. So, yeah.
I love it. Okay, so I just first off want to congratulate you on such a successful year, a successful season. Recap the season for me a little bit. Every great season has those moments where the team realizes, like, hey, we're really good. You know, what was that moment for you all this year? Was there a turning point?
I feel like at the beginning of like the season, we're just like we know that we can be good, but like we see like keep on working for it. Like our like thing was like we're not peaking yet. That was like the whole entire season. We're not there yet. Like we like are gonna peak at some point. And I feel like the big game, of course, we're really into the season was the UNI game, which is like that was a scary game, and like that was when we knew that like we're peaking. Like this is it. So after that, we just kind of kept going into the tournament. So
kept cruising, and obviously it worked for you all. Was there a specific teammate or leader that stepped up this season and really helped push the team forward and kept you all confident and consistent?
I feel like our biggest leader was definitely Nabir. She was our rock. She knew what we needed to do. She was always like on us, making sure that like we're doing what we need to do in the gym, out the gym, like all of that. So I think she was definitely our like the one who pushed us the most.
Would you say that she's the one that brought the energy?
Oh, for sure. Like she, like whenever she gets a kill, like all those things, like we like knew like, oh, like Debo's on, like we're so winning this game.
Yeah. The energy, it definitely moves throughout the court and throughout the team, and you can just kind of feel it building. So having someone on the team like that is really great. Obviously, she's a senior. Yeah. She's leaving. We've got a lot of good seniors heading out. You've got Anna, Elena, Charity, PK, a handful of leaders on the team. Who do you think's going to step up, and how are you going to step up as a leader?
I think Kira Cressy, she's like already, even like last year, like she was already like being like a leader, like make sure that like we're all doing the right thing on and off the court. She was a great example for us. And she's like a very like big presence for us too, like her like calmness, but also she like knows how to like keep us going. And like honestly, like me and her were like really close also, so like I like knew like I could talk to her whenever I was like kind of freaking out during season. So she's definitely going to be a great leader for us this year. And like I think my role last year was like to bring energy. Like that was like my like whenever I'm like coming off the court or off the bench, I knew that I had to come out with like a bunch of energy, because that's like how the team rolled. And I think this year is like that's gonna need to be even like a higher expectation for myself, just because like I know that we lost so many like loud players like Charity and Debo and Elena and stuff, and so I know that I need to like come out and just be more vocal with the girls and just know that like they can trust me through it all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you a vocal leader, Or is it more of like a silent leading through your actions almost, or a little bit of both?
I feel like it could be both. Like I like to like listen to like what the girls have to say, but also like I know like when times are like rough or like we're like kind of down, like I know like my presence needs to be more out there.
Yeah.
To like do good and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Well, making it to the national championship, that's something every athlete dreams about, like a huge accomplishment. When did it hit you like, wow, I'm here at the national championship match? Like after winning, like again, after beating Pitt, like that's like was our biggest game because it's Pitt. Like, of course we like wanted to win, but then like the morning of, we're like, oh, like we're like actually playing in the Natty. Like this is like real. Like coming out, like seeing like all the fans just like waiting for us. We're like, oh, like this is real. Like this is happening. Right. And you talked about your fans, all the fans. How cool was it playing in Louisville, in the Yum Center, and then looking around, just seeing all the fans be Louisville fans?
Yeah, it was great seeing all the red, no blue in the moment. So It was like really fun, just like having everyone there, knowing that like everyone has our back in the moment, no matter like the outcome, of course. So it was just really fun. Like the energy just really helped us out in moments that we needed it.
Absolutely. The energy that the fans bring definitely plays a role in your all's performance. Obviously, you don't let the surroundings, impact how you play, but when it's your fans, it helps. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So the fan base is super great here. How have you seen, what's an encounter with a fan or like a moment you've had, whether it's, at the national championship, looking around, just kind of admiring it, or a specific interaction you had with a fan?
I feel like it's like whenever we like walk out, just like go like do our like TikToks, like the fans just like come up and like are like, hey, can we get a picture? I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, or like seeing the girls that we had camp with before like they knew like who we actually were, because like just came in and they're like, oh my gosh, it's like, do you remember me? Like I was like one of your campers. I was like, yeah, I do. And it's just like so cool, like seeing all of them.
That is cool. And I'm sure it's so cool having so many young athletes and young girls look up to you, like women in sports. You're constantly looking for a role model or a leader, and at one point you were probably that young girl like looking up to a star athlete. Who was that athlete for you?
This is gonna like my siblings both played volleyball, so like that was like my like main focus, like always like them, because like I was always with them, like I was at their games, like so it was like always just like seeing them play. But like one of them that like me and my sister shared specifically was like Alicia Glass. She's an amazing setter. So like that's like one of the people that I looked up to growing up as a setter.
That's so awesome. Yeah. And I'll get to talking about your sister and your family in a little bit. But at that national championship game, the stakes were high. How did you all stay calm? Was there like a lighthearted moment or something funny that you all could kind of bond over to keep your nerves down?
I think one of the funny moments was when Hannah Sherman, she served the ball like 20 feet out the court during the game, and that was like something that we kind of like had to laugh at just because like we're like a high pressure moment. And that was one of like the most like the funniest moments, and just like us like trying to like talk to each other like during timeouts and like trying to come together, like trying to like calm down, because that's a very scary game, I'm not gonna lie. So, just like trying to like keep each other like calm and composed during the entire game. Yeah.
So you obviously had an awesome season, an awesome postseason run, and then following the end of the season, there was a coaching staff change, and you welcomed in Coach Dan, who's now the Louisville Volleyball head coach, and obviously the coach you had in your first year just left, and that's obviously an adjustment, and change isn't always easy. But how did you all find out about that coaching change?
So we got a text the day before we found out. She was like, hey, we have a team meeting at 5, and it was our off day, actually. So we were all like, what could we possibly be doing on an off day that we need to come in for a meeting? And then we like showed up. We're like, well, some of us like went into the gym early that morning just to, like get reps or whatever, and we like saw like some of the other coaches, and we're like, hey, like we know, like, come on, like just tell us like what's going on. And they're like, we don't know, like I don't know if they're like really good actors or if they're like what, but like they like told us that they didn't know anything. So we're like, okay, nice. And so then we like all like showed up. We're like waiting for the meeting. We're like all like freaking out. Like we're like thinking about like we could probably getting a ring. We could be getting dirt. Like we don't know like what could be happening in the moment. So we like all sit down in the team room, like the video room, and Danny like walks in, and then the AD's like behind her, and we're like, oh, this is probably not good. And then she does like one of her like big like, and we're like, okay, yeah, this is it. And then she like tells us that like she like John Cook was retiring. So like we knew that if he retired, that she was going to be the one to get the position, but we didn't know like how soon, because he just signed his contract. So we like thought we had her for a long time.
Right.
Hopefully we had her for like the rest of my career or whatever. And like she like told us, and we're like this is like, it's like really sad moment. Then she like left, and like the emotions finally like came out whenever she left the room. And then the lady told us that it was Dan, so we're like, yay, like happy for Dan. But it's also like, okay, like our coach just told us that she's leaving, and like she was also like my position coach, so it was like even more bittersweet that like she was leaving. But like we're like, of course, like happy for her, and like her family's in Nebraska, so it was a very sad and happy moment at the same time. It was weird. Yeah.
So Coach Dan, he's been in the program for a while, and you already have a relationship established with him. You've interacted with him. You know him. How does that make the transition easier?
I feel like we're just so lucky that we were able to have our like the rest of our staff stay with us, because we just like we're always with them. We know them, and like Dan was like a really big part of the team, even like as a associate head coach. So he like knew what he was doing. He knows all the drills that we're used to doing. Like he just like knows who we are as players. So it was pretty easy that like we can just go to him if we ever like felt like this is like kind of weird or like, but it's been really smooth, and we're just so happy that he's just doing the best he can for us.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's cool because when a new coach comes in, there's always shifts and changes, but it kind of brings a new energy. I mean, we've seen what men's basketball has done with Coach Pat Kelsey now. He's really brought in this energy that's awesome, and the whole city's rallied around it. So I'm excited for you all in the next season and to see what all you accomplish. But I want to circle back around to your sister. You talking about Naomi.
There we go.
Naomi. And how she plays volleyball at NC State, and you all swept NC State this year. What? Tell me about that. What were you talking a little bit of trash before the game?
So we've been like talking about this game for like the longest time, because well, who wouldn't be? And like our family was like, we don't know like what we should be wearing. So of course they wore like their house divided shirt, like the half and half, whatever.
I love it.
But like she was like, I'm just like not gonna say anything to you because like I know you're like a sore loser. And I was like, okay, so thanks for that. And so, but like she's not wrong, because like if she won, I probably would have been like really mad. So good thing we won, because then we were all happy, and she was like, fine, like you won, it's okay. So that was like really it. So that was like our main trash talk, was that she knows that I'm a sore loser. So that was and it worked out perfectly. So thanks.
Honestly, are you?
Especially towards her.
Okay.
Yeah.
With family, there's a little bit
different, but like
rivalry.
I'm like to say like I guess like I'm mad that we lost, but against her, I did not want to lose.
Yeah. So your family, obviously, the house divided shirt.
Yeah.
How did they split the time? Because volleyball season, I'm sure it's busy for you, your sister. Is she older?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a quarterback of a major Division I program, I know a few things about winning. It takes preparation, dedication, and a competitive drive to beat anyone you go up against.
To be a successful trial lawyer, you need to have these same traits. So if you're ready to win, call Thomas Law Offices today.
So it was her senior year, so like I let her have like more like but they like went to her more than me, which I'm okay with because it was her senior year, and so I was being nice. But like my parents came to like my maid asked for them to come to my birthday weekend, and they came, so that was like really all I cared for. And then of course that one game it was easy for them to come, and then we made it for the tournament so they can come to all those games.
Right.
Yeah. It was an easy split, to be honest, so that was nice.
Yeah, and you said you have another sister.
Yes.
Younger or older?
She's the oldest.
Okay, so you're the youngest.
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with them? And they both play volleyball?
Nicole, that's my oldest sister. She played, but she stopped playing at 16. She was like the first one who like started club for us, I guess, and we like all just kind of followed her lead. Mm-hmm. And like she was like kind of like a test dummy for it, because my parents didn't know what they were doing really. So that actually helped us. Like clearly, I mean, we're here now. But yeah, she played, and then Naomi played. But like we're like so close, and like it's just good like having that support system of them like always like helping me out, like even like being like the baby, like they like still like baby me to this day. So it's just like they're like, oh, like are you okay, like how's this game, like after games, like are you okay, like if I didn't do so hot, like they like tell me like the truth too if I'm not doing good. So that's like also good to have with them. So yeah, I'm
the baby of three as well, so I get it. I get it. So growing up, would you all play volleyball together? Like I know there's thinking about your childhood growing up, playing ball in the backyard, like, was that you?
Well, Nicole, we're 10 years apart.
Okay.
So she was like, I don't like remember her being like, I don't know. It's like, I mean, I was really young in the moment, but like, I was just like always like by myself, like in the gym, whenever they're like practicing, like on a wall, just like playing with the ball by myself. Or like I like find someone around doing something. But like, I think like me and Naomi like peppered the most. Like we have like videos of when we were younger, like in like the living room, like playing with like 2 like tables, and like that'd be like our net, and then just like it was
go
cool.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Did you always know you wanted to be a setter? Was that always your...
So actually, funny story, when I first started, I didn't know my rotations as a setter, so they forced me to just be a right side, and then after that first year I went straight to setting, because I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this. Because Nicole was a middle, which is weird because she's the shortest. She was 5'8".
Okay.
But she can jump high, so good for her. But then Naomi was always a setter, so I just like kind of followed her footsteps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, when you all would play against each other, I'm sure that was good competition.
Yeah.
Good practice.
Yeah.
Do you look up to them?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, because like always just like seeing them play, just like knowing that like Naomi, her like process to go into college, like just seeing like all she like had to do to get there. Like I would like train with her whenever like I got older, of course, and it was just like cool to see like how good she was, and like how she like her, because like we're like pretty different players. So she's very like, she's more calm than I am. Like I'm very like energetic, like woo, here I am. She's like very like calm and like whatever. So it was just like cool like seeing like how different we are, but like how good she is, so that I like knew like how much work I needed to do to be like as good as she was. Yeah.
At what point did you realize I could play volleyball in college, D1, I could go far with this?
I think when like colleges actually started reaching out, that was like, I was like, oh, this is real. Like I can like do this for like basically a living at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was pretty young, because the rule change, of course, happened in like my 8th grade year. So like before the rule change, we could talk to coaches like in elementary school. But then like by the time the rule change happened, I had to wait till my summer of my sophomore year or whatever. And like before that, like there was like, I was getting like letters, and I was like, oh, like this is really cool. Like I'm getting letters from like big colleges, like who would have thought? And then like the calls started coming in. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, definitely. What did the recruiting process look like for you? I know you said colleges were reaching out, but why did you end up at Louisville?
So June 15th hit, I was getting like a good amount of like calls or like emails and stuff to like set up calls. But like before that, like I kind of like had like a list of like who I really wanted to talk to and stuff. And so Louisville was on there because I like just started like hearing more about them. Like they were making big runs, like they were like just doing great things in the volleyball world. So I was like, okay, like this is gonna be like a pretty good school. And then like I think when I was getting recruited, they like made it to the finals and stuff. Like they were like making like big leads in the tournament. I was like, oh, like this is nice. And so actually, when I was in the process, my sister just transferred out of Texas, and so she was like in her recruiting process again, I guess you would call that. And Louisville wanted her, and so she had to come on a visit here, and I actually came with her, which was like kind of perfect, but like they weren't. It was more for her, I guess. But and I was like, yeah, this is a place. So luckily, she didn't come here, so I came here.
So you could. Do you wish you had played at the same school?
Yeah. I was like, if you came to Louisville, I would still come here. But she didn't come here, so I was like, I'm still gonna go to Louisville.
Yeah. What stuck out to you the most?
I think just like how close the team was, and like how like young the coaches were. Because I feel like now like coaches are kind of getting older, and like they aren't like as close with their players, and like they like understand us the most. So it's like I like knew that like they would get me, like get my play and all that, and like they were like one of my favorite coaches in club. Danny like just reminded me so much of him. So I was like, yeah, this is perfect.
There's something so appealing about a coach that can get out there and show you how to do it, or help you with your form or just reps and stuff, and that's willing to get in there and kind of get their hands dirty with you at practice and when you're in the gym.
The Dan and all them, they beat us up. Like they're like hitting us. I'm like, oh god, I need to start wearing like my arm sleeves more because it hurts.
Oh my gosh, that's great. I love that. Okay, I love talking about volleyball, but I want to talk about you a little bit outside of volleyball. So aside from volleyball, what would you say you're most passionate about?
Definitely, I would say like the beach and stuff. Like I'm very like a beach girl. Like I miss it every day. I'm here when it's cold and snowy.
Yeah.
I am from Florida, so the beach is definitely like what if I could do like beach volleyball would be like my second if I wasn't doing like real volleyball. So that's like something I'm really like big about.
Man, beach volleyball is no joke.
Oh yeah, the girls to do it. Props to you. I know I did it for like a little bit and then I quit. I was like, well, let me just do indoor.
Yes.
But yeah.
So you played sand volleyball or beach volleyball and in regular?
Yeah. I was like really young when I did beach, and then I was like, let me focus on indoor.
Yeah. So you just stuck to volleyball?
Yeah.
In all sports. Okay.
Well, I tried basketball. No.
Not for you. I was going to say with your height, basketball would be...
It was middle school, so like I was like the tallest girl. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, yeah, you should do it. My mom hated it though, because she was like, you're going to get injured. I'm like, yeah, I jammed like all my fingers. So that was awful. Do not recommend.
Oh my God.
But props to basketball players.
I love it. Give credit where credit is due. That's so good. So I wanted to ask, you mentioned something that sparked a really good question in my mind, but now I'm blanking on it. So maybe we'll come back to that. So I want to talk about your social media a little bit. So you said you wanted to be a YouTuber.
Right. If like a blogger, yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. How has social media changed your reach and your ability to reach people, I guess, to show them an inside look to athletics and your life and the volleyball program here at Louisville?
I think it's like cool, like especially having TikTok back, thank God. Like just like being able to like kind of connect more with like our fans and stuff, because like they only can talk to us so much. So like having like TikTok and like Instagram and like showing them that we aren't just like volleyball players, that we like actually like are funny and like can do cool stuff.
Yes.
All that is just like really like nice to have, and like they take our videos and they run with them, so it's like really fun to see like how much they like it and stuff.
Yeah, TikTok specifically, you have a lot of fun on there with your teammates. You have hundreds of thousands, even millions of views on some of your videos. Do you approach TikTok as like a fun outlet, or do you see it as part of your brand?
I would say like kind of both. Like I feel like my Instagram is more like brand, because I don't know, like businesses use Instagram more, in my opinion, just because like that's why they reach out. But like TikTok is like, I try to make it more fun because it's like videos, like you're not supposed to like it can be serious, I guess, like day in the lives and like stuff like that. But like when it's like dancing or like all that, I think that makes it more fun, especially like game days. Yeah,
and on TikTok, it's not just reaching your followers, it's reaching beyond the people that don't even follow you, but that might like your content with the algorithm. So I feel like Instagram, it's just talking to your followers and then potentially the explore page. But TikTok's definitely the way to go if you want to increase your reach. Yeah. So if you could collab with any athlete on a TikTok, to make a TikTok, who would it be?
Oh, that's a good one. I would want to. Okay, this is a really far reach. If he watches this, that'd be cool. But LaMelo Ball on the 6-7 videos, like that sound, that'd be really fun. My team, we like actually today in practice, we've all been saying 6-7 way too much. It's like it's really annoying, kind of. But like I kind of started it too, so I mean, my bad, guys. But yeah, that would be a cool one. Yeah.
Okay. And aside from athletes, anybody, a musician, an actress, actor?
I think. Do you know Jake Shane?
Yes.
I think we'd be the funniest duo in the world. So if he also sees that, please reach out to me.
Shout out Jake Shane.
Shout out to Jake Shane. I feel like he's supposed to be coming to Louisville.
Really?
For one of his like on tour.
Yes. Let's go.
Okay, so we'll talk about that later.
Jake Shane, if you see this,
please invite us, please.
Okay. All right. We'll switch gears here for a second. Your name is very unique.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask, where did it come from?
Okay, that's actually a good question. My dad picked my name. And actually, funny story, he didn't know that it had an S in it and he wrote it down. So like he spelled it out, whatever. And then like, I don't know when I asked him this, but I was like, why did you pick Nayelis? And he was like, I actually didn't know that I spelled it out like that. I don't know where it came from, I'm not gonna lie either. So that was random. Because Naomi and Nicole, normal names, very basic, respectfully. And then my name was just like the craziest name you could think of. And yeah, that's just something that I never really asked.
So it wasn't supposed to have the S?
No, it's supposed to be like Nayeli. I know it's a very Hispanic name because like when I go to Puerto Rico and stuff, like I see a lot of girls with my name, but they don't have an S in it. Okay. So it's like I'm different.
And you love that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. Well, you're awesome. And I wanted to ask, what makes you who you are? Like, take your sport out of it. What makes you you?
I think I'm pretty goofy and like just like I'm pretty like fun. I guess. I mean, I think people would say that.
Yeah.
So that's like if I didn't have volleyball, I feel like I would still be like fun and like very like outgoing in situations. Like I can be shy at first, but once you get to know me, like I'm very like, oh, like I'm out there. So that's definitely what I would.
That's you. Well, you've been such a fun guest to have on the podcast, and I'm really excited to see all that you'll accomplish in the next season, throughout the rest of your time at Louisville and in the future in general. But thank you so much for tuning in to Athlete Unscripted with Sidney Depp, and I will see you next time.
Bye.